Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the call. It is indeed yet another Wednesday because it is time for this call, so it has to be Wednesday, right? This is the Wednesday Motivation, Business, and Empowerment Call with none other than your host, myself, your girl, Solandia Hammond, a.k.a. Sue Ham, baby. And I see so many of you on the call this morning popping in. This must be a very popular subject. We're going to stall a little bit, give a few more people a chance to get on because, you know, guys, I do get started on time. At least I try to. I'm hoping that your week is going great thus far. Promise you we're going to cover some great steps, some great techniques and strategies to help you get more sales, help you to close the deal. Because it seems like everybody is selling nowadays, huh? But for those of you that are just coming to the call, this is your first time, we welcome you. Want you to know we do this call every Wednesday, same time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Call usually lasts between 15, 20, 30 minutes. Just want to give out some great tips and help people further along in their business, but also want to motivate people to get up off the couch, take action, take consistent action. You guys know that's my word for eternity, right? Consistency, consistent action, and make things happen. Bring into fruition those things that you desire. The only way to do that is to get up off the couch and take consistent action. So we do this call to motivate people, to help them get through the remainder of the week. For those people that are going to a job every day, you know, they dread Sunday night. They dread Monday mornings. They look forward to Wednesday because they feel like they're halfway there, and they're celebrating on Friday. Well, we want to do this call to say you should be celebrating every day that you have life because it's another opportunity to live your purpose. And I can't think of any other way, a better way to go through life than to be fulfilling your purpose on a daily basis. So we still got more people popping on the call. So we're going to give it about another 30 seconds. Real quick, guys, just want to let you know that I really appreciate you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you every Wednesday coming out and participating in this call because, like I always tell you, you really could be anywhere else, but you decide to pop in and invest 15 to 20 minutes into yourself by listening to this call and hopefully benefiting from this call, whether it be to get motivation or whether it be to learn new tips that you may not have been exposed to and to put those things into practice. And I'm hoping and praying that what you get from this call, you're actually putting it into practice and you're actually reaping benefits, seeing great benefits, okay? And from the responses I get from you guys, you lead me to believe that you are, and that's why I'm motivated to continue this call. Like Diddy said, can't stop, won't stop, don't stop, can't stop, won't stop. So I'm going to keep on moving. As long as people are benefiting, then I'm going to keep on fulfilling my purpose with inspiring, encouraging people to live, love, learn, and laugh. And I think that we have prolonged long enough. We're going to go ahead and get started with today's call because I know you guys are anxious to find out. And I'll be honest with you, some of the things that you hear today may be brand new. Some of the things that you hear today may not be new. But here is the thing, guys. Why is it that it takes us an average of, 3 to 7 times to hear something before we really can accept it, And sometimes it takes accepting it from somebody, hearing it from somebody else before we can genuinely accept it. Give you a prime example. Our mom and dad can tell us not to do something over and over and over again. But because it's coming from our parents, it's like, oh, they're old, they don't know what they're talking about. But if it comes from another source and then another source, you start to look into that thing, right? And you start, well, maybe there's some truth to what's being said because I'm starting to hear it over and over and over again, So I tell people all the time, listen, the message is pretty much the same. The messenger is just usually different. So let's get started with today's call. I'm excited to discuss this call because, as many of you know, I am a serial entrepreneur. I've created online courses. Matter of fact, I just created a new online course on yesterday, and I'll talk about that later in the call. It's basically how to create your own T-shirts and to sell them online. So we'll talk about that later in the call. But I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love creating products that can help people. I love selling my products. I love inspiring people. I'm also a published author and a motivational speaker. And my proudest achievement is, of course, being a mother of 3 beautiful kids, and that's something that I'm still learning to perfect every day. Matter of fact, I don't even know if you can perfect that, but they have patience with me, I'll tell you. And So, guys, on this call today, I was thinking, man, what am I going to talk to the listeners about today? And I really wanted to talk to you guys about sales, about trying to sell. And I don't know, maybe it came from me creating the new course on yesterday and just thinking of different ways to sell. And I was like, you know what, I want to talk to the listeners about selling, because whether we believe it or not, whether we realize it or not, everybody is a salesman at heart. Now, I know you're like, no, not me, Sue. I'm shy. It doesn't matter. We're all trying to sell something, whether we're trying to sell our personality, whether we're trying to sell the fact that we're super duper cool, whether we're trying to sell the fact that we're smart, whether we're trying to sell the fact that our kids are the coolest, cutest kids on the block, whatever it is you're trying to sell. You know, you're a salesman at heart. You can't help it. You're trying to say, hey, check this out, check me out. Check that out. It's pretty cool. Even when you're doing it indirectly, like if you go and you buy yourself a new pair of headphones and you buy a pair of Beats and someone else has a pair of Sony, you know, you're sitting there and you're telling them, you're trying to sell them on those headphones. Hey, dude, you really need to check out these Dr. Dre Beats because of the quality and the da-da-da-da. And you don't even realize it, but that is the salesman in you. No, you're not going to reap a profit or anything from it. Dr. Dre's going to get the profit. But the fact of the matter is you're trying to sell someone on your idea, sell someone on your likes, sell someone on what you have, and you don't even realize it. So today I wanted to do this call to help you be a better salesman, whether you're selling dreams and hopes, inspiring people, whether you're selling products or whether you're selling services. Hopefully this call will help you to connect with your potential clients, potential prospects, customers, whatever you want to call them, and actually close the deal. So we will go into it. First, I want to let you guys know I listen to a lot of Brian Tracy. He's a master seller. He does a lot of seminars on selling techniques and whatnot. So if you guys don't know who Brian Tracy is, go and check him out. I was listening to him this morning, and I read a lot of sales books. And, you know, a lot of them say the same thing. The old method of selling is obsolete. Well, I'll put it like this. As far as being successful with it, it is no longer valid. There are some people that still subscribe to the old method of selling, and that old method of selling is coming to somebody and saying, boom, here's my product, buy it. You know, telling them all about the product. The product has A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, it is 4 inches long. It does this when you turn it on. Now, buy the product. Never once engaging in a conversation where you are allowing the customer to speak to you and express their needs. Basically, you just going in, bombarding the customer, telling the customer, this is what you need. Here is the product. The product does this. Give me your checkbook. That method does not work very well today. Does not work very well at all. So going in and telling the customer that they need this and they should buy this, and not ever engaging the customer in a conversation is definitely going to get you kicked out the door or the phone hung up on you. Hence the reason why a lot of people don't care for telemarketers, because you got somebody cold calling you and you don't know who they are. You don't know where they came from. You don't know if you can trust them, which leads me into the new model of selling. Brian Tracy said the new model of selling is comprised of 100%. 40% of that model relies on trust. You've got to get the customer to trust you. 30% relies on needs. You have to find out what the need of the customer is. 20% relies on presenting. Once you find out what the need of the customer is, you then present that need to them and saying, basically, is this what you're saying? Is this what you're saying you need? How is this what I hear you saying? You're saying you need more sales, or you need to find a way to gain more exposure, blah, 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 blah. And 10% is coming back with confirming by asking the customer a question. So does that make sense to you? When can we get started? So, but guys, I want to hone in. 40% of getting sales is trust. So do you see why the old model is obsolete? If you have someone coming up to you and throwing their product down your throat and telling you why their product is the best, but never asking you any questions, do you see why that won't work? So, you know, let's go to Facebook, because I love social media, okay? Now, that inbox, right? That inbox is a beautiful thing on social media, but it can also be annoying because you have so many people throwing their business opportunities or their products or their services down your throat. People you don't even know, people that are clear across the country, but somehow or another, they found their way into your inbox or into your email, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, because I'm a marketer and I'm a salesperson, I respect it. I understand that they're trying to get their hustle on. But the thing is, if they went about it in a different way, it would be much more receptive by the majority of people that they are trying to solicit. But the thing is, the common thing is they go to your inbox and they're like, join Wake Up now, or join this opportunity now, or buy this product now, or use my services now. It will change your life. And if you have any questions, just email me. Or if you have any questions, just go to this link. Don't even give me your email. Just go to this link. Guys, that's kind of cold, isn't it? I know I may be over-exaggerating a little bit, but that's kind of cold. Customers today are smarter. Customers today are more equipped to go and do the research on the internet to get the information themselves. Customers today are impatient. Customers today are more territorial. Customers today are a little bit more rude. And customers today have a lot more opportunities. They don't, we have less of a monopoly now, meaning that we can go other places and get the same product and services that you have. So the fact that you come into my inbox and you're like, join this opportunity now, but I don't know you, that doesn't entice me to join you. That doesn't entice me to buy your product. That doesn't entice me to use your services, because guess what? I don't know you. So therefore, how can I trust you? If I don't know you, I can't trust you. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to do any business with you. So you sending an inbox to me or an email just out of the blue, that's not going to work because you have not established trust with me. Guys, how do we establish trust with people? Well, first, you've got to become a pro in what you're doing. Understand your market, okay? Then you've got to talk to people. You've got to build relationships. The number one way to establish trust is to build relationships. So you've got to build relationships. It is the most important. Testing. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened now. It dropped the call on me, but I am back. Hopefully we won't have these technical difficulties anymore. But anyways, going back to building trust. The quickest way to build trust is to actually build relationships. And that's with anything. So building a relationship is definitely going to net you trust. It's just like when you're courting someone, okay, courting a male or courting a female. You have to get into the relationship in order to establish trust. You have to get to know each other. You have to talk. So one of the quickest ways to actually get to the sale is to build a relationship and establish trust. And again, that is 40% of the new model. Establishing trust means that you've got to listen to your customers, not just go into their inboxes or into their emails and push stuff down their throats. You've got to listen to them. You've got to ask questions. Do you know that most people in the world, they just want to be heard? A lot of people just want to talk. They want to be listened to. You're probably like, Sue, that's what you're doing right now on this call. But the thing is, a lot of people want to be listened to, just like when you have an irate customer, right? Someone's upset. The worst thing in the world that you can do is to cut in on them when they're speaking or expressing their feelings or their opinions. The worst thing is to interrupt them and not listen. All it does is send them to another level, right? Another level of being pissed off, another level of, this is just ridiculous. When I get out of here, I'm going to blast that this is the worst service I've ever heard. But, however, if you continue to let that irate customer talk, let them express their feelings, and you sit and genuinely listen, and sound as if you genuinely care, but not just sound, actually genuinely care about that customer, you are going to be respected so much. Because when you put time in, when you care, and when you respect your customers, it's going to build that trust, which will build that relationship. And 9 times out of 10, once that customer calms down and realizes that you actually took the time to listen to them, because so many people won't listen, they won't fix what's wrong, but when they sit down and realize that you actually took the time to listen to them, they are going to respect you more. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that situation to work in your favor simply because you took the time to listen to them. So that's how you're going to build trust. You're going to invest time into the customer. You are going to genuinely care, and you are going to genuinely respect them and listen to them. Next thing is assess the needs of the customers. That's 30% of trying to get the sale. Assess the needs. Don't go in there telling the customer that the product is shiny and black and it'll last you 12 years and this is 100 things that the product can do. This is 100 things that my services can do. But you go in there doing that and you neglect to ask the customer, what are your needs? What are you trying to accomplish? What have you been doing in the past? What are you doing now to accomplish that goal? What do you think that you need to accomplish that goal? Where do you see yourself in the future? Well, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How can we better serve you? What is it? What is your ultimate goal? Tell me, what is it that you're really trying to achieve? Guys, going in and asking the right questions. When you ask the customer the questions, it's like you're becoming a detective. Then you can find out exactly what the customer needs instead of you assuming and pushing products and services down their throat. Pushing products and services that they don't need. It will not benefit them at all, or either they already have it and they just don't need it from you. However, going in and asking questions, assessing their needs is what's going to lead you in being able to present a product or a service that can better serve them. So what? Your product has 100 different uses. 9 times out of 10, when a customer is buying your product or your services, they're not buying it for the 100 different uses. They're buying it for 1 or 2 things that it can do, okay? 1 or 2 things that it can do. That's what's important to them. Like the example that comes to mind right now is a car. Okay, you can get into any car and it will drive, right? It will take you from point A to point B. But you might have a customer that may come into your dealership and specifically they're looking for a car that is good on gas. Guess what? You won't know that if you're sitting there trying to shove a diesel down their throat, or you're trying to shove a V12 down their throat just because it looks pretty. And you never once took the opportunity to ask them, what do they require? What do they need? What do they desire? What are they looking for? What are they hoping to accomplish from this sale, from this meeting? And so you will probably run a customer off because they came in looking for a 4-cylinder so they can save gas, but you're trying to sell them a 12-cylinder, all because you never took the time to assess their needs. So rather than pushing your products down somebody's throat, first, take the time to assess their needs. How do you assess their needs? You ask those questions, guys. You ask those questions. You find out what they need. Ask the questions, then shut up and let them talk. Listen to them. Listen to them intently with the intent to be able to solve their problems. Remember, on previous calls, I told you if you want to get paid for what you know, basically you solve problems. Solve problems, be the superhero, close the sale. So when going into these situations, talk less, listen more, and be sincere when you do this. Next thing you want to do is, after you assess the customer's need, you want to now ask, present yourself. Present what they said. Basically, you've heard what they said. You've assessed their needs. Now you want to regurgitate it to them. You want to make sure you understood them. You want to say things like, okay, if I understood you correctly, what you're trying to do is find a way to expose your business, to gain more exposure so that you can grow sales. See, when you put it back to them in a statement, you are saying to them, listen, I was listening to you. Now I want to make sure that what I heard is actually what you said or actually what you meant. So your presentation skills have to be on point. You have to really listen really closely and really listen with the intent to solve their problem so that when it comes your turn to present to them what you heard, you can be on point. And guys, when you do this correctly, the customers will jump out of their skin. They will get excited. They'll, yes, that's exactly what I want. I've been trying to explain it to so many people, but they just don't get it. When you can do that effectively, you will then be on your way to closing the sale. Matter of fact, the customer will be sitting there and trying to close the sale for you for the simple fact that you totally got what they were trying to say. You stood there, you listened, and you didn't rush them, and you genuinely care, and you assessed what the problem was, and now you are ready to offer them a solution, and you do that by confirming. You tell them about your products. You present your products in the presentation, and you tell them, okay, well, this product can actually do this for you. Since you're looking to gain more exposure, we have a course that can teach you how to gain more exposure through video marketing, or how to gain more exposure through running Facebook ads, or how to gain more exposure through utilizing YouTube, or how to gain more exposure by using all of social media, LinkedIn and Twitter. You present your product and you show them how your product will then solve their problem. Even if your product can do 100 different things, you're zoning in on what's most important to them. And so that is how you will go into the last part of selling, which will be the 10% confirming. Once you've done that, right, once you've done the trust, once you've assessed the needs, once you've presented to them what they said their concerns are, and then you presented your product and your service, and you go into confirming and you ask, so will this product that I presented to you today, will it serve your needs? Do you think that we can move forward in the process? You want to ask these questions, guys, because you want to close the sales. You want to ask them, do you like the product? Will this benefit you? Does this make sense to you? When are you ready to begin? How can we begin? Are you ready to begin now? Or as soon as you're ready, you can gain instant access to this product. Just let me know when you're ready to begin. You still are not pushy, guys. You're still not pushy because by this time, if you build enough trust, if you've assessed their needs properly and presented them with a solution to the problem or to their needs, they're going to be practically ready to give you their money. They're going to be like, hey, and even if the product or service is kind of expensive, they will sit there and try to think of ways on how they can afford it. They'll say, oh, man, I really like this product. I need this product. I don't know how I'm going to afford it right now. Well, maybe I can call my brother, or maybe I can go to the bank and get a loan. Whatever it is, they are going to try to find a way to close the deal for you. They're going to try to find solutions to be able to get that product in their hand. And if it's not a matter of a financial problem that's keeping them from doing it, they're going to throw their checkbook at you. They're going to throw their credit cards at you. And if you're selling things online, guys, where you are not basically face-to-face with somebody or on the telephone dealing with somebody, the way to build that trust is to continually put yourself out there as an authority figure. Continue to show yourself an expert on whatever it is that you are presenting. Always give classes, because people are always looking for knowledge. Give classes, give webinars, do teleconference calls, do videos, post tips on a daily basis to help people in their business. When you do these things, people start to build a relationship with you. It's like they know you. Once they see you out there on a consistent basis, it's like, you're a movie character or a sitcom character that they follow every week, and they feel like they know you. They know that what you put out is accurate because they've implemented some of the tips that you distributed, and they start to like you. And once they start to like you, they will want to buy from you. No one is going to buy from somebody that they do not like, okay? Well, at least most times. 90% of the time, they're not going to buy from somebody that they do not like. So if you are presenting yourself as an expert, showing that you're trustworthy, making yourself available in the Internet by providing great tips, great helpful strategies, doing that via webinars or teleconferences or teleseminars or podcasts, or maybe even writing a book, people will start to connect with you, but you have to put your information out there on a consistent basis because, again, on average, it's going to take about 5 to 7 times before people will actually come in and do the sale. I have people that have been on my email list or people that's been on my Facebook that's been following me for at least a year, and finally now they're buying my products. So, guys, whatever you're doing, I will end the call with saying this, whatever you're doing, do not give up. Just because things are not working out as fast as you like, do not quit. Because lo and behold, had I quit, before a year, I wouldn't have the sales that I have now. But I continue to be consistent, continue to put my products out there, continue to put my services out there, and great knowledge, and continue to be a help to the people. And as a result, I'm able to move products and services. So if you continue to show that you care about your customers, your potential customers, and that you're willing to listen and that you're willing to provide solutions to their problems, and that you're willing to be a trustful person, you will eventually close the sale. So there's so much more we can talk about, but for the sake of this call, we'll try to keep it 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and close the call, but before I close, just want to tell you real quick about the T-shirt line that we created. If any of you are interested in starting your own T-shirts online, you want to know how to create it, want to know how to get designs for only $5 and put them on your T-shirts and sell them at a T-shirt store online and make money, then you totally got to check out our new course. And get this, it's jam-packed with 7 tutorials that teaches you how to sell T-shirts on 2 different platforms. And it's only $27. Small investment of $27. So if that's you and you're interested in that, then please hop over to SueHam.com or either jump on my Facebook page, and you'll be able to grab the link there for that, or send me an email, SueHam1@yahoo.com. That's SueHam, the number 1 @yahoo.com, and tell me you want the course, and I'll send it to you. Oh, and for a small investment of $27. But, guys, in closing, I got to always encourage you to live, love, learn, and laugh. Don't quit. Follow your dreams to success. And make sure, guys, that you really love on your customers. That's the biggest thing. Love on your customers and generally take care of them, solve their problems, and go the extra mile, and you'll have no problems with closing the sale and generating new customers. You guys take care, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.